This conversation starts calm, and then everything shifts. Let's break it down on Choir Media.
Um, I'm going to do some. Hello.
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. How old are you?
I'm 24.
Cool. So what do we got? Are you here for the virtual match thing or something else?
No, I came just to chime in because you said just now that if you are a woman and you majored in business marketing and you said a slew of other degrees, that you're basically going to have an average life. And I disagree with that.
Okay. Disputed based upon the numbers.
I was going to dispute it against my experience.
Your experience doesn't mean anything. Disputed based upon the numbers. See,
But my
no, ma'am. See, your experience, due respect, even if it's incredible, it's yours.
That's true, but it's
Disputed
still.
based upon the numbers.
But I'm not the only woman out there that's being
But
able.
if that's the truth, it should show where.
You're right in the numbers, but I'm
Thank you.
saying for you to be.
Then I'm not saying anything. The numbers say that.
I understand, but for you to make a
You
broad.
can't. Okay, ma'am. It's not broad. It's a fact.
Okay, for you to make a statement like that, I'm saying
It's
that's
a
invalid.
factual state. It's a fact. Dispute what I'm saying as a matter of fact. Is
Okay,
what I'm saying a matter of fact?
no.
Bullshit. It's a matter of fact because the data exists. The data exists, ma'am. No, ma'am. BlackDemographics.com, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Department of Health, the CDC. This stuff is all the census. Those are facts.
Okay, 1 second.
Before you say anything, we got
Mhm.
to agree to have an adult conversation.
Oh, definitely, most definitely. I've been
Facts
on your
over
platform multiple
feelings.
times.
Facts over feelings. So
Facts
if
over
what I
feelings.
okay, so everything you're attempting to say, prove it with facts.
Okay,
Go
can
ahead.
I start? Okay, here's a fact. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in business marketing. A
Mm-hmm.
fact. I make over $60,000.
Mm-hmm.
I make over that. So that puts me in
Mm-hmm.
a different percentage, right? You said
Mm-hmm.
most Black women in America don't make over. You think you said 74% of Black women
74% of
here.
black women make under $50,000.
Right. So that
Only
is
9% of black women make more than $74,000.
okay. Well,
So
I will give that
that puts you in what percentage?
a rare percentage.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
you just proved my fact.
Yes.
Oops. Oops.
But hold on.
No,
But
no, ma'am, there's no but. See, what you don't like is the fact that 74% of black women make $50,000 or less. It didn't say what the degrees are, but we do know that different degrees have different floors and ceilings.
that's true.
Like it or not, if you choose humanities or business, you are choosing lesser income than math, science, engineering, technology, math, law, or medicine. True or false?
False, because you choose accounting. Wait,
No,
business.
as an average, not on potential, on as an average. Does the average attorney make more than the average person with a marketing degree?
On average, yes.
Thank you. See, what you ladies like to talk about is possibility versus probability. Is it probable that you have a business degree as a female and you're going to earn over six figures?
If you say it's hard to answer that question
Probable. Is
because
it
hold
probable?
on, hold
Is
on.
it no, ma'am? Is it probable? Meaning 50%, 51% or more?
I will have to argue yes, and this is my reason why. This is my reason why. If you look into business, you have
If it
accounting
was
and
probable,
finance.
ma'am,
Hold
hold
on,
on,
wait, wait, wait,
ma'am.
wait.
Let me
Kev, hold
stop.
on.
First of all, you cannot argue that because you would have to look at the total amount of business degrees granted. If 51% or more of the business degrees granted did what you said probability, then the amount of women earning less than $50,000 would shrink the amount of women earning $74,000 or more would rise. Sorry, man, it just doesn't work. The average black woman in this country earns less than $28,000 a year.
Okay. Now, what I was saying was, if you say business, you have to take an accountant of accounting and finance. That too falls under the bracket of business. Majority of accountants have their
Ma'am,
CPA. Hold on, wait, hold on.
they don't change the raw numbers. See, here's what you're looking for. Kevin, you're right and I'm wrong.
You said that's what I'm looking for?
Yeah, because that's the truth. I'm right and you're wrong.
I think that's what, with all due respect, I think
Okay,
that's what
you
you're
can
looking
have
for.
all, you don't have to, blackdemographics.com, this is the black females, the average black woman in this country, $28,000.
Okay, Kevin.
Ma'am, do you believe that number?
I believe you. I'm not saying
Okay,
I do not believe.
do you believe, according to for the census data, the Department of Labor, the Department of Health, the CDC, all the places that categorize and collate this data, that set policy, set budgets, all these other things. They got all the data. And when black statistics for black people by black people say that 74% of black women earn less than $50,000 in this country, that means 3 out of 4 earn less than 50 grand.
I hear you, Kevin. I hear you. I'm
So
not
what's your
saying.
problem with it? Just because you got a business degree and you earn more doesn't change the fact, man, that puts you in a different bracket. That's you. That does not mean it changed the numbers.
I understand, but what I was saying was, when you make a statement like you did, saying and making it sound factual.
No, stop right there. Stop right there.
Wait, Kevin, you gotta.
No.
I
I'm gonna
let you
stop you right
finish
now.
your statements. You
You're
gotta
trying to
let
be
me.
okay, man. I'm not going to allow you to do that. I'm not going to allow you to play slick and loose. I'm not going to make it sound factual. It is factual.
Okay. Let me get through a
Ma'am,
statement, please.
okay, no, I'm not. I'm not going to allow you to play word games like that.
I'm
Because
not
what you're
saying.
trying to do, no, ma'am. See, what you're trying to do is make your position, and I don't want to allow you to discredit me. I want to allow
I'm
you
not
to play slick.
discrediting you.
I want to allow you to play slick and loose with the words either. Just
Okay.
don't try to say that I'm trying to do something. I'm reading the data.
Okay. I'm sorry for that. When you said, you named a multitude of different degrees, and you said that if you major in these type of degrees, you will make no more than average. That's your lifestyle will be average. You'll make nothing more than the average American citizen.
The probability is that way. Yes.
Okay. So what I was just saying was, yes, that is right. And it's the probability is higher, but I am a walking factual being that is saying that isn't always.
So what?
That isn't
So
always
what, man?
the case.
Okay. See what you're failing to account for
Mm-hmm.
is you're in the minority.
Okay.
Oops.
But the minority still counts.
But the minority accounts for the fact that what I said. See, it's like what you're basically trying to say is when you have children,
Okay.
and you have a son. You have a son, and your son says, and he has the intellectual ability to go become a cardiologist, an attorney, or go to school in marketing. You're going to tell him that all 3 of those degree paths have the same probability of income. Just because somebody in marketing can hit it big. When you look at the schools and you say, well, you can go to MIT, Stanford, Harvard, all these other places, and you can afford it, you're going to tell them, go for the marketing because it has a higher probability. Because you know what? People can get a marketing degree and go become a VP of marketing. But what's the probability? The raw numbers. Which raw numbers earn more money? Attorneys, physicians, or marketing?
Attorney.
Thank you. The raw numbers. See, and my question is this. Why did that bother you so much?
I think what bothered me the most when I heard it, or what made me want to chime in when I heard it, was just, I already know what you're about to say. That's why I'm hesitating. Is that it kills people's, I would say dreams or motivation to want better. It kills it. Like, oh, this is just, I guess this is what my life is gonna be, my baseline. This is what it's gonna be. Which, I mean, if that's your mindset, then of course that's what your life is gonna be. But if you have a bigger drive behind you, which I do, of more ambition, you're gonna push yourself and you're gonna
You're
put
24,
yourself.
young lady. You're 24.
I am.
You guys and the millennials are the first generation of people to look facts in the face and say, I don't care. I think and I feel something different. Because when I was your age and enrolling in college,
Mm-hmm.
the reason I chose engineering over business was because engineers factually made more money.
Right.
That's
I
the
understand
reason
that.
that's the reason you do it. Because when I was going to school, there was no internet and there was no social media, and everybody didn't have a supercomputer. So we were much more willing to accept the reality that no matter what your drive is, the world is the same. After you get your degree, you are one of the how many hundreds of thousands of marketing degrees that are given that year? Hundreds of thousands versus one of the tens of thousands of engineering degrees. And they're always looking for engineers. People in business, when I went to school my freshman year, Black Monday happened.
Okay.
Wall Street crashed. People were graduating in uh, spring of 1987. Black Monday happened fall of 1987. And all of a sudden, you had people who had graduated the year before all going back to school. Why? Because there were no jobs. All the jobs that people were going to get because the stock market had crashed, the savings and loan industry flatlined. So, and what was happening? People were coming back with those degrees in business, going back to get a master's or an MBA in engineering because those were the jobs they were hiring. When I was a freshman, even as an average engineering student, I had internships. The people in humanities, journalism, communications, all these things, they were doing internships for free, having to work for free. Minimum wage was $3.35 an hour, and I was getting paid $4,000 a month as an intern. See, the reality is certain jobs pay more money over a lifetime. Just like people with college degrees on average make more than people with high school diplomas over a lifetime, right?
Yes.
Well, if you accept that as a reality, you got to accept that there are some things that are more valuable. Just because you may have a marketing degree and may be able to break through, how many hundreds of thousands or millions of marketing, millions of humanities degrees that are out there that are useless?
That's true. That's true.
So here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so important for people your generation to have these big dreams that most people can't do? That's not how most people do it.
You,
When you were a kid, we told you could do anything. You could be president, but now as an adult, you kind of like, no, I can't. You kind of know what you can and can't be.
yeah. My dreams haven't really changed that much since I was a kid.
Well,
um,
what are those? What are those?
One day I would like to be a CEO or a chair member, CEO slash chair member of a corporation.
Okay. Where'd you go to get your undergraduate?
Business marketing.
Where?
Prairie A&M University.
Okay. how many Prairie View graduates
Mm-hmm.
are C-suite members of Fortune 2000 or higher companies?
You said CEOs of them?
C-suite, period. And I Prairie View only. No, not UT Business, not Rice Business School, not Fuqua, just Prairie View only.
I'm not sure. To be honest with you, I would have to do some research and actually
Zero.
for that.
Prairie View just got their engineering accreditation back in the last 20 years. When I was in school, going to get a degree in engineering at Prairie View, you couldn't even get a job because they lost their accreditation. So, you know, just like I know, hopefully, wanting to become a C-suite in someone's corporation, where you got your undergraduate determines a lot. Ma'am, what's President's University? How many of our presidents have gone to Harvard or Yale? If you want to be a president, there's a path. If you want to be in the C-suite, there are certain schools. If you're gonna go get it, if you were going to be an executive,
Mm-hmm.
where should you go to get your MBA? Houston Tillotson, Fisk, Howard, or Stanford, University of Illinois, Duke, NYU, UT Austin, consortium program, University of Michigan. See, the last ones I mentioned have a better chance of, because everyone who applies for the position can do the job, true or false. They have the baseline skills. So then why is it that we tend to pick people from these places? Because those things matter. The intangibles.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to be what you're saying, then what's your Ivy League business school? Who are your networks? Who are writing your letters of recommendations? Who's your mentor? That's what it's going to take to get what you're talking about. Not just drive.
Absolutely. But I want to point out something to you.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead and point out to me.
Okay. So just like you said while we were having this conversation, that I am a rare commodity, right? So I majored in business marketing. I make over the, I guess, average amount.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, just because it hasn't been done doesn't mean it can't be done. And that's something I really do love about my generation that I'm in. We look facts in the face and show that we can do otherwise. Like, yeah, it was.
No. Due respect, ma'am, your generation hasn't shown anything. You just talked.
Really?
Hold on, listen. Your generation loves to talk. Your generation conflates probability and possibility. See, right now, your generation is not old enough to have accomplished anything. You just think, well, because we think differently than the other generations, that it's possible. And what you're going to find out is things have happened the way they happen for a reason that many people in your generation just simply don't understand, because you thumb your nose at those old school ways of doing things, because that's old school. We new generation. We got computers and smartphones. See, but my generation, one thing we have over your generation is we had to earn our knowledge. Your generation is lazy. You want to know something, all you got to do is pick up your supercomputer and ask it, and it will tell you. My generation, you want to learn something, you had to walk to the library or get on your bike, ride over there, go to the library, use the Dewey Decimal System. Do you know what that is?
Yes, I know what that is.
Many people don't. No disrespect. Many people don't. The Dewey Decimal System. To look up a book, go get a book, and sit there and read it to get the knowledge firsthand. A sparse, much, and then give it back. See, knowledge that's Knowledge that is worked for is more valuable than knowledge that is given. So while you may say that your generation, because you have technology, you haven't proven anything that you're going to have a better outcome. As a matter of fact, it's going the opposite direction because you guys are much more hyper-focused and individualistic than us. Y'all ain't work together well. But you got time. And guess what? We're going to be sitting back when you get to be about 45 years old, and I'll be like, uh-huh. Then you go, and what ends up happening, like every generation, just like I had to go back to my mother's generation, my grandmother's generation, when I was young and thought I knew everything, had to go back and like, damn, you was right. They were like, we tried to tell you. Here's the funny thing. Human beings have not really evolved much. We are pretty much evolutionarily, we live longer because of modern medicine. But we are roughly, the human software, we're roughly where we were about 300 years ago. The middle class, teenagers, and dating, these are new inventions of the last 50 to 70 years. But if you look at the pace of technology from the dark ages to roughly around 1900, it was very slow. But then the industrial period, where we went from horse and buggy to automotive, in 100 years, human beings accomplished in a 100-year period what was 5,000 years. But our brains haven't caught up to that. We are still, in our minds, hunter-gatherers meant for living in villages. That's how we evolved. Would you believe that human beings are not really meant to live in places of over 5,000?
I can believe that. I can believe that because it wears on your mental health and things like that. I can believe that.
We're really supposed to live in little villages of 500 or less. 5,000 was a major metropolitan city. I'm here in Atlanta, and that's 7 million people. We live in boxes. Our brains aren't caught up with this.
Yeah.
So my point is that just like you understand that it can wear on you, you guys have too much information. A lot of information. But the systems that make this world work are there for a really good reason. Because just because you know something, everybody who knows a job can't do a job. You're going to find out that your bosses, a lot of them, you're going to be smarter than them. But you got to pay your dues. And when you get to be that point where you're the boss and the boss's boss, you're going to have some 20-some-odd-year-old who think they got the keys to the universe come through and be like, because that's how human beings work.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you want to get married one day?
Yes, I do.
Want children?
I'm undecided.
Why?
Personal past reasons.
So when you're this C-suite executive, who do you want to pass all this money, resources, and legacy to? The state?
No, family. My family.
Whose family?
Like my family. So maybe I'm undecided about kids. So if I have kids, then them. But if not, then my nieces, nephews, things like that.
So you have brothers or sisters?
I have sisters. All sisters.
All sisters? How many sisters?
3.
How many nieces or nephews do you currently have?
0.
So if their nieces and nephews is assholes and sluts, you want to give all their money? If your nieces and nephews are knuckleheads, you're going to take everything that you've accomplished as a C-suite executive and just give it to Nug and Keisha.
The probability of my nieces and nephews becoming knuckleheads is very slim. But if they were to, then probably not, no.
Okay, then. But that's all. But that'll be your only option. You either give it to Nug Nug Nephew and Ratchet Keisha. See, or you give it to the state or charity.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll adopt or have a mentee. I give it to somebody. Somebody with purpose will be given my estate.
But if your sisters are having kids,
Mm-hmm. I see your point. I see it. Like I said, from past personal reasons, I have hesitation. So
at 24 years old, have you had therapy?
I have, yes. I have been in therapy for the last, I'll say, year and a half, 2 years.
What do you think? What is the purpose of life?
What is the purpose of
I'll take
life?
it back. What is life about? What is life about?
Making a difference. To me, that's what life is about.
A difference meaning with whom?
That depends on who
Life
you
is
are.
about people.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
All right. Well, but if you go do all these great and wonderful things, and when you pass on, what you done dies with you.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah, it does. I mean, don't you think your nephews and your nieces are going to honor what you've worked for like your sons and your daughters would?
I mean,
Man, life is about people.
I
Life is about relationships.
I understand that, but I'm saying, like, there are people who make amazing accomplishments in their life and they leave their estate to their kids, and their kids tarnish their reputation and everything like that. So just
Fear, scarcity, and lack. If you watch me, look how often our women live in fear, scarcity, and lack, which leads to anxiety and stress. That's negative.
no, I'm not saying that's my
No,
fear.
yeah. So this is the same woman who's telling me the probability and the possibility of all these great and wonderful things happening. Being when it comes down to kids, well, you could leave your money to this. You're gonna have the same. Now keep that same energy, man.
Wait, if you would let me finish my statement, what I was saying was, yes, you could have kids, and your kids could do you wrong just like anybody else could. Just because you have something to leave doesn't necessarily mean you want to leave it to your family. You want it to leave somebody who can honor your legacy.
So would you
Whether
rather
that's
have had no? Would you rather have had no siblings?
me?
Mm-hmm.
No, I love my
Then
siblings.
thank you. Then let's cut the crap. Life is about people and family.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about. So whatever negative happened to you, get it under control. Because life is about family. When something happens in your life,
Mm-hmm.
you want family. You want people who share your bloodline, your family culture. You want, when you're old and no longer to be a little cute girl doing her hair like this, you want somebody to say mama, nene, something and so forth. Life is about family. And one of the worst things that's happened to so many black women is you guys are just not making families, cut off from the very essence of being a woman, which is to nurture and move the culture forward for whatever reason, good, bad, or indifferent. But trying to get our women to become what every other group has, women who want to be mothers and pass things forward. I'm not trying to say what happened. I'm saying life happens to us all.
Right.
But the point of having all this stuff or doing all these things is family, people.
That's
You don't want
correct.
to, because passing it on to a charity, you can do that too, but better to pass it on to your lineage. So I don't know, man. And I guess at 24 years old, um, you got sisters. Um, yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't even want to say that because it'll get out, but you want to pass it on to yours if you can. And at 24, whatever you're talking, whatever you're referring to, um, life happens to us all. But there are plenty of women because I mean, unless you want to be a jet set woman by yourself with your PhD and your dog. Because do you want to be married one day or do you want to be a single woman?
No, I definitely want to be married one day.
Well, then men tend to want to have kids, right?
I understand that, and for the right man, I possibly might, but I mean, you're not a man, so you wouldn't understand because you don't actually go through the process of holding a child. And
I'm not a woman.
yeah, exactly. So you wouldn't exactly understand what I'm referring to, but you know,
Well, what I do understand is that modern women have a far easy infant mortality. There's a reason our grandparents and our great grandparents, there's a reason families used to be 10, 12, 10, 8, 10 kids. Why? Because you lost 2 or 3 of them. Modern technology has made us soft to where when life happens to us, we get traumatized from things that happen. Human beings are not all supposed to make it out of. Think if you have had any pets or anything, the litter doesn't all survive. But human beings have populated this world because we keep going on. We don't shut down because of things that happen. We make the best choice. That's why I said whatever you're talking about, the ultimate, without getting into it, it is a psychological thing. Whatever's going on is a psychological issue. Because it is human nature to want to produce yourself. It is human nature. Just like people who say, oh, it's human nature to survive. You want me to show you how it is? If I could Thanos myself over to you right now, and you could be as depressed as you want to be, it's human nature to survive, because if I were to take a pillow and put it over your face, guarantee you would fight me for your breath. It is in our nature to survive. So we can say whatever we want to in our depressive and anxious states, but in our core being is the evolutionary drive to procreate and survive. So whatever you're talking, that's why I said therapy. I don't want to get into it, therapy, because life is about people, especially as we head into this holiday season. Much better to have presents under the tree from your husband and to your husband and to your kids and to your mama than just a sorry ass Charlie Brown Christmas tree with corn cobs and dry ass Christmas cake. Take it easy. Bye
bye.
See, you can have a conversation.
Man, I'm sitting there listening to this like, no way this is real life. The level of empty-headed, loud, argumentative energy coming through the phone is honestly painful. And it's not even anger at this point. It's secondhand embarrassment. Like, you start looking around the room hoping nobody thinks you agree with what you're hearing. That line right there, my generation is so great because we look facts in the face and say, nope. Bruh, when she said that, I actually laughed out loud because that statement alone proves the exact opposite of what she thinks she's saying. That's not intelligence. That's not progress. That's not strength. That's pride mixed with ignorance. And that combo is undefeated when it comes to self-destruction. And the frustrating part is, Kevin wasn't even being disrespectful. He was breaking things down step by step, giving real-world context, credentials, hierarchy, how companies actually work, why titles and experience matter if you want to be VP or executive level. This wasn't theory. This was game, but none of it landed. None. He might as well have been explaining this to a cat staring at a laser pointer, because the second she got the chance to speak, boom, right back to her original talking point. No processing, no reflection, no adjustment, just straight mental buffering and reset to factory delusion settings. That's what gets me. It's not that she disagreed, it's that she didn't listen to understand. She listened just long enough to wait for her turn to talk. And that's why people like this never grow. You can't teach someone who already believes they know everything, especially when they don't even have the results to back it up. And the whole I feel a certain way argument, that's where logic goes to die. Feelings are not facts. Feelings don't run companies. Feelings don't negotiate salaries. Feelings don't promote you to leadership. Reality doesn't care how strongly you feel. It only responds to competence, cooperation, and results. What makes it sad is that this wasn't a lack of opportunity. She was sitting across from someone trying to give her the blueprint. Most people would kill for that kind of free wisdom, and she wasted it arguing vibes. This is why some folks stay stuck, not because the world is unfair, but because their ego blocks the lesson. If you can't grasp basic cause and effect, basic structure, basic accountability, then yeah, life is going to feel confusing and hostile. Honestly, it wasn't funny by the end. It was just sad, because you could see it clearly. She doesn't get it, and worse, she doesn't want to.